cbcnews.ca. Activists have warned that parts of British Columbia could look a lot like Cannonball, North Dakota, if construction on Trans Mountain goes ahead. It's become a flashpoint for the Dakota Access Pipeline, which will transport crude across the United States. Protesters there have now been given 2 evacuation orders. They're holding firm, even as winter digs in. Karen Poles is there.
And this is what I'm calling my blanket/tent home.
Diana Barker was sleeping in this makeshift shelter last night during the first storm of the winter.
Honestly, last night I was scared. The wind was beating against, the tarps were beating. So you heard beating tarps. You heard poles snapping from the tents around me.
Barker was pulled out of her tent by neighbors worried she'd be buried under snow. Safety is the big reason the governor of North Dakota has called for an emergency evacuation of the camp.
Not going to happen. Not this girl. Been there, done that. I'm not worried. This is the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do. I would give my life for it.
Last week, the Army Corps of Engineers also gave protesters a deadline of this coming Monday to vacate what it considers federal land. The local sheriff says his officers won't evict anyone, but they may fine people bringing supplies into the evacuation area.
My main concern is, and it has been from day one, is for the safety of everybody involved. I am trying my damnedest to make sure that no one gets hurt.
These camps sprang up in April to try and stop Texas-based Energy Transfer Partners from finishing its nearly 2,000-kilometer, $5 billion pipeline, moving oil from North Dakota's Bakken region to Illinois. More than 600 have already been arrested while protesting. One woman nearly lost an arm during a November 20th clash in which police sprayed protesters with water during sub-freezing temperatures.
We are not the aggressors. We are the ones that are trying to protect the law the way the law is written.
This Indigenous leader disagrees.
There's a real threat and a real risk when a statement comes out, when a proclamation comes out, that there's a flashpoint.
Safety is something James Ficklin is thinking about, but he says the risks are worth it.
I think it's important to stop this pipeline and get off our crazy addiction to fossil fuels and support the alternatives and protect Mother Earth.
The Obama administration has delayed approval of a permit that would allow tunneling underneath Lake Oahu so federal officials can consult more with tribal leaders. Yesterday, the White House said Obama believes law enforcement has an obligation to act with restraint and protesters have a responsibility to protest peacefully. Karen Paul, CBC News, near Standing Rock, North Dakota.